What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our playoff semifinals team builder here in the UPA-D League, taking on JJ Galls and the DC Umbreon. Once again, we took him on in week 5, I want to say? Week 5, yeah. You may notice that quarterfinals never went up. We were playing DS in the Birmingham Vulpix, and he ended up forfeiting to me, so his 9-1 record moved to 9-2, I guess, and we were both of his losses in that sense. But he was having a lot going on, and the game got extended, and he just constantly couldn't play me. So he ended up FFing due to school and whatnot, so that's fine. We're moving on to semifinals here, taking on JJ and the DC Umbreon, who beat Scrappy and the Texas Rain Dance in the quarterfinals. The last time we played JJ, well, let's talk about his team. He's got Kieran Black, Deoxys Defense, Mega Kangaskhan, Aloma Mola, Bisharp, Slurpuff, Emboar, Rotom Mo, Z User, Scolipede Z User, Steelix, Z Drifblim, Z Furo. Only thing is I wasn't expecting last time was the Drifblim and the Furo. Still sort of feeling that way. He ended up bringing Kieran Black, DOD, Mega Kang, Aloma Mola, Emboar, Rotom Mo last time. And Kieran Black ended up being a gigantic problem. I brought like a workup Dark Z Hydreigon that broke through the DOD O-code, the Emboar, that wasn't scarfed, but looked like it might have been banded, but bluffing scarf. And then I ended up just sacking it for no reason to the Mega Kangaskhan instead of going to Krozma. And I think it would have been really helpful for me to keep my Mon that was faster than the Kieran Black around. But I'm going with a very different playstyle this time, and we'll sort of see if that pays off for me or not. Priority users on his side could be the Mega Kangaskhan with Fake Out or Sucker Punch, Bisharp with Sucker Punch, Emboar with Sucker Punch, so lots of Sucker Mind games on this team. Hazard setting the Deoxys with Stealth Rocks and Spikes, Bisharp with Rocks, Slurpuff with Webs, Scolipede with Spikes, and Toxic Spikes, and Steelix with Rocks. I'm actually not running any removal this week, so again, we'll see if that bites me in the ass or not. Removal options on his side, Rotom with Defog, Drifblim with Defog, Furo with Defog, so he doesn't really appreciate running Defog on anything besides Rotom anyways. And then 4 times weaknesses is just Bisharp to fighting, which I do have covered. I don't really know if Bisharp's going to come this time. It didn't come last time. Scolipede didn't come last time, which was really interesting. I'm not entirely sure about that one, but he could have just been worried. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he just brought the same 6. Although maybe changing up some of the stats. So Kieran Black's definitely a threat, but it's really good that it can't be Z. Emboar is definitely a threat. Mega Kangaskhan, especially the set that he brought last time, which was Power Up, Punch, Secret Power. Definitely a problem. I have ways of beating that, but not great ones. And so let's talk about my team then. Again, I'm really not expecting the Drifblim Furo. I'm definitely expecting him to just bring the same team. I think it makes the most sense against me, especially if he's still prepping for Rain. Steelix doesn't really make that much sense against Rain. I don't think Scolipede makes that much sense against a Pelipper. In particular, it has to be like Rock-Z to beat down Pelipper Torn. And then even then, there's other ways for me to switch into that. And I've got Necrozma, so... Yes, first up is Necrozma. I changed the set around. I actually changed everything around, realistically, but for the most part, it's the same idea. It's physically defensive to take on the Mega Kangaskhan in theory, as well as the Emboar, physical Kieran Black, things of that nature. Moonlight, Rocks, Toxic, Geyser. It's a pretty basic set. I get walled by Bisharp, but I don't think Bisharp's coming. Main thing is just setting Rocks, because my team is really offensive besides that. The rest of the team is actually hella offensive besides this. And it's going to require me just sort of like sacking stuff a lot, I think, to the Kyurem. But yeah, that's the idea behind the Necrozma, is basically just get up Rocks. Rocks will be enough chip for the Kyurem Black that I need for Scizor to be able to revenge kill that. So that's an important aspect of the team this week is getting up Rocks. And again, I don't think his removal options are that great, so getting up Rocks and keeping them there is a super solid option. Toxic, I can Toxic things like Aloe and DOD. That's kind of the idea there. He got Rocks up against me last time with DOD, which was a problem. So I'm not going to lead with Necrozma, but I'm just sort of identifying what Necrozma is. I can still kind of deal with Mega Kangaskhan as long as the Kang isn't like a subset. Then that would be really bad. If it's like Sub-Wish, then I can't beat it with Photon Geyser. So that would be really bad. I'm gonna have to make some doubles into like Conk or something like that. Torn is next. I'm bringing a really offensive Torn with Z-Fly. Z-Fly pretty much gets one. Like the resists to Z-Fly on this team are like Steelix and Bisharp, and I don't think either of them are coming. So Z-Fly can pretty much grab me one against like Emboar, Kyurem Black Dio, or it'll at least be a nuke against something like Kyurem Black or Mega Kangaskhan, which will be super good. I'm running Focus Blast just in case the Bisharp and the Steelix come, but also is a really solid way to hit the Kyurem Black and the Kangaskhan outside of having to hit a Hurricane. So mono 70% basically with U-turn and taunt. Taunt is there for the DoD, as well as the Aloma Mola, forcing them to not be able to get up recovery options against me, and potentially taunting a Slurpuff Webs. So this is going to be my lead 100% of the time. I'm going to have to pivot around with this team. I think I have a really good chance of winning this if I can get the lead matchup right and pivot around correctly. I'm outspeeding Scolipede, which also outspeeds Adamant Scarf Emboar. So if that's what he wants to be, is Scarf Emboar, then I can outspeed that. If he's Jolly, then I actually can't outspeed it anyways, so there's not really a point. Scissor, running Banded Scissor. Adamant Banded Scissor, outspeeding min speed Deoxys defense with this, which is like 12 EVs in speed Deoxys defense, so it's not even like 0. I'm creeping a creep, if that makes sense. But Scissor should be able to revenge kill quite a lot of this team. The main thing I'm not revenge killing with this is like Emboar. I should significantly outspeed a Bisharp, unless the Bisharp is like max speed for Mega Swampert. If it does come, and I can superpower that in the face, I should definitely be able to kill the Slurpuff with Bullet Punch. Yeah, depending on how much speed the Kangaskhan and the Kyurem Black have, I may outspeed them and be able to superpower them, but superpower is really there if I can take a hit from them and then get a hit off. Bullet Punch is going to be more effective against the Kyurem Black, but superpower is more effective against the Kangaskhan. And then Banded U-turn should be able to dent the DoD as well as the Aloma Mola. Just pivot around with U-turn here and here, and later on here. Conk is next. I'm running a Berry Conk, which is kind of weird. I know it looks really weird to have like Berry Conk, but I feel like this is kind of an alright switch into the Scolipede, and it can tank hits and then get a nice boost of recovery on top of Drain Punch and things of that nature. So it's different than I was running a Gut set before with Flame Orb. I'm not going with that, so hopefully I don't get burned by like Aloe or something of that nature. But yeah, I'm running Drain Punch, Thunder Punch, Mach Punch, and Fire Punch. So Mach Punch is for revenge things like the Kyurem Black and the Mega Kangaskhan, of course. Thunder Punch is for the Aloe, Fire Punch is for the Scolipede, Rotom, and the Steelix, but I probably won't click it against Rotom or Steelix, mainly just for Scolipede in case it shows up. And then Drain Punch, Mach Punch is like main stabs, just max HP, max attack there. Gardevoir, I'm running a Scarf Gardevoir with Trace, so I can trace like Pressure, or I don't think you can actually trace Parental Bond, but Pressure, Defiant, I guess, with the Bisharp, in theory, Unburden from the Slurpuff, Speed Boost from the Scolipede, which is something. Yeah, Moonblast, pretty spammable without the Scolipede around. It doesn't really have that many resists, besides, it's like Scolipede, Steelix are resist to Moonblast, so very spammable. Psychic without the DoD around, for sure. Focus Blast for the Kangaskhan again, if I really need to, as well as a way to hit the Steelix. I'm not running Shadow Ball to hit the DoD. I think I have better ways to hit the DoD on this team, so I'm running Healing Wish instead to sort of heal something up, like the Scissor, if I want to, because I think Scissor could be a really good late-game cleaner. Enough speed on here for Bisharp. Max special attack, a little bit of HP. And then last but not least, I'm running dual Scarfers this week with Hydreigon. Completely changing it up because I think that maybe Scarf Kyurem Black is a bring this week on his side. I don't think it's necessary, but it could be. And I wanted to cover that this time, which I didn't last time. So U-turn, Dark Pulse, Draco, Fire Blast. Fire Blast mainly there for the Steelix, but also a way to revenge kill a Scolipede if I have to, or a Bisharp. Because Bisharp otherwise resists dual stab, right? So Dark Pulse is very spammable besides the Emboar. I don't really want to be locked in against the Emboar. This is one of the reasons why it kind of sucks that I'm Scarf this time, is because it gives Emboar a free switch in, and I don't really like the idea of that, because Emboar can kind of just tear me apart. And I'll have to sack something. I'll probably just have to go into Necrozma, and I'm really hoping that at that point I'll have Rocks up already, because then it won't matter too much if I can just go Necrozma and then go back into Hydra and drop a Draco or something. Dark Pulsing my way through the DoD shouldn't be that much of a problem. Very offensive build this week, like I mentioned. I'm outspeeding the Kyurem Black, max attack, and a little bit of HP investment on there. So, in terms of what I'm not bringing a Moongus. because of Kieran Black and Embor and Deoxys defense, all of which came last time, and I think Amoonguss doesn't really have a great matchup against those. It's got a really good matchup against Slurpuff, but I don't think Slurpuff's coming, so what's the point? Heliolisk, same sort of thing. It can beat the Alomomola, which I may have struggled with last time, depending on things, but it still sort of struggles against the other things. It's just, it doesn't have the wall-breaking potential against this team in particular, because the walls on this team are too fat. Yeah, Pelipper, I'm not bringing Rain, so Pelipper, Mega Swampert, I'm not bringing this week. I brought it last time, and the team that he brought last time seemed to work well against it. Aloe plus Rotom-Mow sort of could wall Mega Swampert enough, so not convinced that that was the right play last time. And there were a lot of, like, despite the electric type being Rotom-Mow, there's a lot of ways to kill Pelipper on this team that I don't like, so not going with that. And then Monferno, I actually was debating because I actually like Monferno in this matchup. I'm not sure if I mentioned that last time or not, but Monferno actually does have a solid matchup. I just felt like Conk was better here than Monferno would be, but potentially like a Scarf Monferno or something isn't horrible in terms of just clicking close combat late game. Still underspeeds Kieran Black though, so that's definitely a threat. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys for our match against JJ and the DC Umbreon in the semifinals UPA-D.